Okay, so the first thing you're going to do is open up Photoshop, like so. And you are going to open up File, Open, and open up your image wherever that is on your computer. Okay, so once that's open, you're going to have it open. It should look like this. Before you even start, you're going to check the image size. Now, I didn't tell you to do this before, but please make sure you do it now anyway. You go Image, Image Size. And then what you need to do is check that your resolution is 300. That's really important for good quality print when we print. You also need to check that your height is about 23 centimeters. Okay? Doesn't matter what the width is right now. All that matters is that the height is 23 centimeters. Okay? So double check that's all good, and then you're good to start. Okay, so you're started. Over here you have your layers. Layers tab, so this is what we're going to be working in with a lot. So first thing, we're going to start preparing the background. So just clicking the background layer here, we're going to duplicate that. So we're going to go right click, duplicate layer. Okay, background copy, and we're going to call this layer dots. Enter. Okay, so now you have two. Then we're going to create another new layer. So I'm going to use this button down here. This is a new layer, create new layer. Here it is. And I'm going to drag this new layer in between here. Now I'm going to choose to color this whole layer. And I can do color by coming over here to the left-hand side. This is the toolbox. And choose a color. Now I'm going to choose a color that's really different to my bottle. My bottle is blue, so a complementary color to blue is, what is it? Anybody know? Complementary color to blue is orange. Okay, so I'm going to choose an orange color. Ding. All right. Now I'm going to paint bucket, which is actually sometimes hidden under gradient tool here. So I'm going to click and hold with my left mouse button and hold the paint bucket tool. And now I just click. Okay, you can see here the layer is orange. Now that's because I don't see anything because it's on the bottom. So I want to make sure that it's in the middle here. Okay, so once that's done, your next step is to work back on the dots layer, this layer here. And what we're going to do is use the pen tool to draw around the edge of the bottle and then cut out the background. Okay, so my pen tool is over here. Click. Now I can use Apple ++ to zoom in, or Apple -— to zoom out. I can also hold down space bar. If I zoom in first, if I hold down space bar and I click and drag, then I'm able to move around the page a lot better. Okay, so I'm going to start just clicking around the edge. Now if I click, 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 those are straight lines. If I click and hold a bit, I can get a curve. So I can actually get a really nice rounded feeling all the way around my bottle. So I'm going to keep doing that. Maybe I want to zoom in a bit more. And I'm going to mark out the entire bottle. Now you see I've made a mistake here, so I can go Apple Z, which is undo, which is nice. So if I make a mistake, I can just undo a little bit. Okay, so I'm going to continue doing this. Why don't you start your own? You don't need to watch me all the time. Just start your own version, and I'll let you know when I'm done over here. Okay, once you have got all the way around, join it up, right-click, make selection. Okay, this only works if you're on the dots layer. You need to have done that the whole time. Make selection. Okay, radius, a feather radius, if you have a 300 quality, 5 pixels is just fine. Okay, okay. So now you have the whole, this area selected. I'm going to zoom back out. My bottle is now beautifully selected. Go in a little bit. Okay. Now what I want to do is delete the background. So I'm going to go, my bottle is selected, so I need to select the background. So I go select, inverse, and then I hit delete, and voila. Okay, now my bottle is there. I can hit Command or Apple D, and that deselects. Okay, there we are. So this is the first stage done. What is next? Section B. Okay, we're going to desaturate this image, which means get rid of the color. To do that, I'm going to go Image, Adjustments, and Desaturate. That's right here. So it should go black and white. Okay, make sure you're on a dots layer to do that. Next, I'm going to go Image, Adjustments, and Threshold here. Okay, so now I'm really looking at those like dark black tones. I've got rid of all of those grey shades. Now this really depends on you and your image, how much you want to leave in there or how much you want to leave out. So just play with the slider until you're happy with what you've got. I'm pretty happy with that. Okay, so this is really up to you. Okay, now if you zoom in really close, you're going to see that it's quite dotty, it's quite jagged, and that's not really a good effect. So a way to do this is to put on a bit of a blur. Okay, and you can do that with filter, blur, Gaussian blur. Okay, again, this is up to you how much you want. Obviously, this is too much. That's maybe a bit too little. Just maybe like that is okay. All right, okay, looks good. All right, so next, in the layers palette, here, we are going to make a new document and make this dots thing happen. So make sure you're on the dots layer and right-click, duplicate layer. Now here, don't hit anything yet. You're going to put into a new document, okay? And you can call it whatever, it doesn't really matter. It's only temporary, so I'm just not even going to name it. Okay. And now what you see is a new document has opened, and here is just that dots layer by itself. Okay, so here's where it gets a little bit crazy and complicated. We are going to change the mode to grayscale. Edit, image mode, grayscale. It will ask to discard. Okay, good. Then we're going to do this again. So we go image, mode, bitmap. And it will ask us to flatten layers, in which case we say yes. Then this box will pop up. And you can see your 300 pixels, and you want to check to its half-tone screen is selected. Okay, and then you go, okay, happy with that. Then this box will pop up. And in this one really depends on you. Okay, I recommend something like 12 dots per inch and angle 45 fine, and you want your dots to be dots, not squares or crosses, so they're round. Okay, and this is what will happen. Now you have your dots. Now this, I'm pretty happy with the effect here. I like how many dots I have. If you're not happy, you're going to go Apple Z, which is undo, and you're going to do it again. Now to do that again, you have to go back to bitmap mode. Okay. You have to do this, okay, happy with this, and then you're going to change, and you can maybe change that up to, let's see what happens if it looks like 5. Yeah, too big a dots. Undo. Again, mode, bitmap. Okay, okay. Let's try 30. Zoom in. Maybe too little. Up to you. So really is up to you here though. Decide what you want best, but some things look too big and some things look too small, and you have to find a happy medium in the middle. So I was happy with my 12, I think. All right, yeah, I'm happy with this. Okay, great. So your next step is to change the mode back to grayscale. Image, mode, grayscale. Okay. Size ratio pops up. That's okay, 1. Then we're going to change the mode again. Why we have to do this? We just do. Back to, that was adjustments, mode, back to RGB, back to color. Okay. Then we're going to put it back in the original document. So I have to go right click, duplicate layer, and drop it down and put it back in my original file. Okay, happy. Go back into here, and we can see the layer up here. Let me zoom out. There it is. Okay, so you can see that background layer has been copied back. Happy, yay. The final steps for creating the dots is to create a clipping path. The new layer of dots. Okay, so this is kind of strange. So what I'm doing is I'm going to hold down Alt on the keyboard, and then I'm going to hover between the background copy and the dots layer. And see this little bobble pops up? I'm just going to click left click. And now I've got a clipping layer. So now I've got my background popped in. Okay, awesome. So your picture should look like this at this stage. And you have successfully completed part 1 of this tutorial. Stay tuned for part 2.